The end of an era at FC Bayern.
A true Bavarian icon is bringing down the curtain.
Thomas Müller, a living legend, bows out after 17 years with his home club.
He is adored. He will be missed.
With another trophy, and of course in typical Thomas Müller fashion.
Ich hab's geliebt, der moderne Gladiator zu sein.
And what a gladiator he was. Goals.
Thomas Müller, oh, he's made space, brilliant touch and wonderful finish!
Countless trophies.
A career that has glittered with trophies.
And an extraordinary person.
Müller will join his adoring public.
Time to take a look back over his extraordinary career. This is the Thomas Müller story. Bayern and Müller have long been a match made in heaven. He is the personification of the Bayern DNA. No one embodies the Mia San Mia philosophy more than him. Hungry for success.
Müller, good save. Yeah, the equaliser.
Thomas Müller takes it past Päch and Thomas Müller will open the scoring.
Ball to Müller, who brings it down. Thomas Müller.
And titles.
Thomas Müller gets to lift the Schale.
His statistics are astonishing. 751 appearances in all competitions for Bayern.
Everyone here a fan of Thomas Müller.
150 goals in the Bundesliga.
Oh, what a goal from Thomas Müller!
33 trophies.
Das gibt's ja nicht.
17 seasons at the highest level. 16 Bundesliga campaigns with at least one goal.
Oh, it's one of the best goals you'll ever see!
The most decorated German footballer of all time. But where does this craving come from? For this, we have to go back to a small Bavarian village. Päch, a community in the idyllic Bavarian countryside, less than 50 kilometers from Munich. Today, 2,544 inhabitants live here. Who would have thought that an international star would grow up here? Müller's primary school teacher Irmgard Hupfauf could have guessed it. When the children are young, we like to ask them, what would you like to be one day? With him, as far as I can remember, all you could hear was footballer, and obviously Bayern. Bayern were the club. So the love for Bayern was there from a young age, and it drove him on. He soon stood out at his youth club and caught the attention of Bayern scout Jan Pinter. But certainly not because of his technique. He wasn't that good technically, but he ran like a madman. And I thought, man, you can make something out of that eventually.
My family and friends, and we are all fans from Bayern. And I was very nervous and to play for the club you love. It was a little bit pressure, but I loved it so much every day or in the next years.
Müller worked his way up the youth ranks, and then on August 15th, 2008, it was time. The boy from Päch, who only had Bayern on his mind, made his debut in the Bundesliga as a substitute under Jürgen Klinsmann. He only made a few more substitute appearances that season though. Now we know Müller prevails, but it could have turned out differently, as the club's then general manager reveals. At one point he wanted to leave because he didn't see many opportunities with us, and there was an offer from Hoffenheim. It could have been a very different story, but Müller stayed, partly because a new coach put his trust in him, Louis van Gaal. He promoted the youngster, and Müller repaid the faith.
What a strike from Thomas Müller, who gets his brace!
From that point on, Müller gained steam and his career really took off. His first Bundesliga title came in 2010. And with that success behind him, things started to go well with the national team too. He travelled to the World Cup in South Africa and took the tournament by storm, finishing as joint top goalscorer aged 20. Key player, leader and trophy magnet, the years 2013 and 2014 were particularly successful. First, the treble of the League, Cup and Champions League in 2013, and then a year later, a World Cup winner in Brazil. Müller and the national team sent a nation into ecstasy.
It's all about success, it's all about winning games, and sleep with a smile on my face every night, and that's possible when we win. And so I want to collect as much titles are possible.
A multiple German champion, Champions League winner and world champion by the age of 24. What else was to come? Easy, even more trophies. Up to the 2022-23 season, he was a Bundesliga champion every year. With his goals, he helped Bayern to start a long run.
And Müller with a strike that is going to put a smile on everybody's faces. What a cracker!
On the move, Thomas Müller, magnificent! That is how you shatter the deadlock. A Bayern goal of sublime quality. A more direct approach, and Thomas Müller!
Chance here for Thomas Müller, scores for Bayern.
Mir wurde immer
But my whole life, the championship trophy was always presented to me as something positive, and I just took it that way. I won my first title in 2010, and that feeling was immediately confirmed. You're holding something heavy in your hands, and that gives you the sense that it's really not easy to win that
vermittelt
thing.
ja auch das Gefühl, dass es echt nicht leicht ist, das Ding zu holen.
Another high point in 2020, another treble, including Champions League glory. For the national team, things weren't going as well. No more trophies for a change. The World Cup winner retired from international football after Euro 2024, with his final appearance coming in the 2-1 defeat to Spain. But of course, it's the successes in his career that stick out. That has much to do with his style of play. Müller is the free spirit in the Bayern system. Unorthodox, direct, determined. Goals from seemingly impossible positions.
Thomas Müller, that was poetry in motion. He took it brilliantly. What a season Thomas Müller is having.
At the start of his career, he was more of a poacher. As time went on, he increasingly adopted the role of Raumdeuter, an instinctive player who recognizes space early, an asset to his teammates.
Seine große Stärke ist, sich genau richtig zu bewegen, auch die
His great strength is moving in exactly the right way and also running in behind.
Da weiß er ganz genau, wo Raum ist, wo kein Raum ist, wie er sich bewegt.
He's immense at that. That's why he can decide any match with his movement.
Deswegen kann er jedes Spiel auch, vielleicht sogar nur mit einem besonderen Laufweg, auch entscheiden.
Müller can do both, but he got better and better at providing goals. In 2020, he was the orchestrator in Bayern's treble triumph and set the record for the most assists in a Bundesliga season.
What a goal that was! Oh, so cheeky!
Whether helping others to shine or shining himself, Müller has always been able to count on top teammates. You forget how long he's been there and the players he's worked his magic with. He also acknowledged some of them in his farewell speech.
Ich da aus der Kabine so ein bisschen überlege, was zu erzählen gibt. Angefangen mit Frank Ribéry, der dir die verschwitzten Socken nach dem Training ins Gesicht werfen wollte. Mich hat er Gott sei Dank mit irgendwelchen stinkigen Fischen im Koffer verschont. Oder die neue Generation, Chomu und so weiter, die dir am Anfang der Saison schon erzählen wollen, wer NBA-Champion wird und was sie selber für krasse Moves drauf haben.
He broke into the first team when Luca Toni and Miroslav Klose were still leading the line. He performed magic with Ribéry and Robben, belonged to the golden generation with Philipp Lahm, Bastian Schweinsteiger and Toni Kroos, had Xabi Alonso as a teammate, conquered Europe with Claudio Pizarro and Mario Mandzukic, formed a sensational attack with Robert Lewandowski, and played alongside Harry Kane and Jamal Musiala in his last season. What players to have with you on your journey to global stardom. His list of coaches also reads like a who's who of world football. Jupp Heynckes, Louis van Gaal, Pep Guardiola, Carlo Ancelotti, Hansi Flick, Julian Nagelsmann, Thomas Tuchel. But 3 in particular shaped him and Bayern.
Also mit Van Gaal diese wirkliche.
But with Van Gaal, that real shaping of an era through Schweinsteiger, Lahm, Robben, Ribéry, through the change in playing style, not just signing good players but also introducing a slightly different footballing culture, which Louis van Gaal brought in. Then, of course, with Jupp Heynckes, we were extremely successful, winning the Champions League and the treble in 2013.
Die Champions League geholt und das Triple 2013 und dann sogar eben.
Then, even with Pep Guardiola, a coach who was there for 3 years and who, of course, shaped German football, the Bundesliga, and the club back then. In those 6 or 7 years, we established ourselves in the European elites, you have to say that. That phase was just incredibly exciting for me as a player.
Die Phase war einfach extrem aufregend für mich als Spieler.
Motivation is never a problem for Müller, but there are also fixtures that get him particularly fired up. Der Klassiker has been legendary during his career, and Dortmund fans certainly won't miss him, since Borussia appear to be his favourite opponents.
Thomas Müller wraps up the points, wraps up the game.
Oh, what a strike with 3 minutes to go from Thomas Müller.
Thomas Müller, he likes to score against them as well.
Thomas Müller takes it past Päch, and Thomas Müller will open the scoring for Bayern München.
Straight to that man as a present. Thomas, have a go, Müller.
Bayern scything open. Dortmund again. Thomas Müller sends the Allianz Arena into ecstasy.
As greedy as he is on the pitch, he's just as approachable off it. The other side to Thomas Müller. Loud talker, joker, entertainer. His Instagram account reveals an easygoing person who laughs a lot and has fun.
Da sind wir wieder bei Thomas Themen-Tipps.
Radio Müller, always on the air. And that's what separates the greatest from the greats. Not just trophies, but also their humanity. Müller understood what it's about at Bayern.
Aber klar ist auch der Auftrag eines Bayern-Spielers aus meiner Sicht.
Clearly, from my perspective, a Bayern player's job isn't just to score goals or defend. We're also there to make sure people outside of their work and daily tasks feel good and have a good time. When you think of FC Bayern, you want entertainment, relaxation, emotion, and I think we deliver that.
Dann willst du einfach Unterhaltung, Entspannung, Emotion, und ich glaube, einiges davon kriegt man auch.
Can someone like that switch off at all after such a career?
Ich spüre da eine enorme Wertschätzung für die vergangenen 15 Jahre grob. Und
I feel an enormous appreciation for the past 15 years or so, and that feels good, but I'm not super emotional, like something's breaking away from me. I've said in several interviews before, the adrenaline you feel in a football stadium, standing up to that pressure, that task, it's hard to replace, actually impossible to replace. I know that, and it'll probably feel a bit strange on some Saturdays in the first few years after I'm out of the game, but we'll deal with that too.
An dem einen oder anderen Samstag, gerade in den ersten Jahren, nachdem man da raus ist dann aus dem Geschäft, sicherlich ein bisschen komisch anfühlen, aber damit werden wir dann auch umzugehen wissen.
So even his farewell was grounded and cool. No tears at the Allianz Arena, instead laughs and of course celebrations. The final images from Müller's extraordinary career come from Hoffenheim. His final match for Bayern is over.
He has given so much of himself to the Bayern fans.
Thomas Müller says, Tschüss, Bundesliga. Those were the outstanding moments from a magnificent career. A Bundesliga without Thomas Müller. Hard to imagine. His laughter.
Müller will get there. What an angle! What a finish!
His hunger for titles.
And now the party can truly start.
And of course, his goals will be missed.
That's an excellent goal! That is a super goal!
Thomas Müller with an outstanding finish.